Listen up. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly how we get ROIs like you're seeing here on my screen. I'll go ahead and zoom this in real quick. You can see ROIs up to 9 million% ROIs. 9 million% ROIs. So we can spend 44 cents, make almost 4,000, $4, make 5,900, $6, make 9,400, $89, make 43,000. And I want to break down the exact process for this in this little video. The first thing that you need to understand is the most important thing in order to use Messenger to be able to do this. Now, these are Messenger ads. In order to do this through Messenger, you need to build relationship through Messenger first. So these particular ads that we're using, the sequence that this goes through is we build relationship using Chatmatic, right? Which I'll put a link to Chatmatic below. You guys can check it out. So we use Chatmatic to build the relationship. We deliver content through Chatmatic. So we use Messenger as a content delivery platform. And then we create these little micro sequenced audiences. And I'm going to describe to you guys what I mean by that by showing you inside of some of these actual ad sets. And you're going to find out it's something that everybody could be implementing within the next couple of days. Or if you're an agency and you're looking to do this for other people, this will open up a whole new playbook for you of things that you can actually do for your clients. So the first thing that I want you guys to understand, again, is going back one step, right? We want to make sure that everybody at some step in the process is being pushed into Messenger. So a majority of the ads that you're seeing here are a reflection of a webinar. So what I'm doing is I'm getting people to opt in for my webinar, and on the ads that I'm running, I'll do what's called a comment trigger. So a comment trigger is actually just an ad that you, or just a function of Chatmatic. So when you're running your ad, anybody who comments can instantly get a message from your page. Now this happens in just a series of a couple of seconds. I'm going to show you guys real quick. I'm actually going to log in here and show you guys exactly how that works. So give me a second as we're reloading here. There we go. So when you log into Chatmatic, you actually get to upload a page. Now I'm going to go to that page, and it's going to pull up a list of all of my recent posts. So as soon as it pulls up that list, I can put what's called a comment trigger on it. So if anybody comments on this particular message now, this post, they'll get a message, and they're going to get this message right here. So it's really easy to put comment triggers up. That part I don't think is going to be, rocket science. You guys can figure that out. But the key here is this. This particular method right there is not actually a Messenger entry point. Now, in order to run the ads that I'm talking about, you have to have what's called an open Messenger conversation. Now, let's just quickly recap. An open Messenger conversation is a two-way conversation. It's not a one-way conversation. So just keep that in mind. If somebody messages your page and you don't have a bot installed, then it's not technically a two-way conversation. You want to have a bot installed specifically for this, because as soon as it does send them a message in return, now you can actually qualify them for an open Messenger conversation. So I want you to think about this. Anytime somebody engages with your brand in Messenger in any way, you are allowed to run a specific kind of ad called a sponsored message. And that's going to be the key to our ads performing so well. So you can see right here, actually, if you look at the very top of Chatmatic right now, what that's showing you is all the activity coming in to my particular fan page. So I can see every time there's a comment, every time there's a new like, all that kind of stuff, which is actually pretty cool. But what I really like here is these things are super easy to set up, right? So now I'm getting people into Messenger via this comment trigger. When they go into Messenger, I ask them to send me a response or say the word slides. So my real technique is like this. I created a 26-page PDF that outlines the really cool ways that you can get people into Messenger, right? The easiest ways to get people into Messenger, called entry points. So I give you, in 26 pages, I give you every Messenger entry point that you would want to know. Now, a lot of people really want that. So what I did was, on my ads, at the very bottom of my ads, I say, P.S. if you want a 26-page PDF that outlines the entry points into Messenger, comment below. So when they comment, I say, great, make sure you sign up for our webinar. In the meantime, here's a link to our 26-page PDF. All you've got to do is comment just reply with the word slides. So now I've got them in Messenger. In that little conversation, they say slides. And when they do that, my bot is looking for the word slides, and it responds to them with the link to get my 26-page PDF. Super high valuable PDF, by the way, worth way more than free. So that's always good news. But so now I've got that going on, right? So I've got them in Messenger, and I'm creating an open conversation right from the ad. Now, I run my ads like normal. The point of the comment trigger is just to pull in any new people that might otherwise not click the link if they're like looking to comment or whatever. So that's just a side effect. I run them to a webinar landing page. On the thank you page, I push them very hard into setting a reminder. So I want to show you guys, this is what my page looks like. I'm going to show you a little example. This is what my thank you page looks like. So right here in the middle, I've got my video, and it actually says, "Excellent, you're in. Here's a gift." So I'm giving them something right away. So again, this kind of aligns with my mission to make Messenger an asset delivery platform. I'm using Messenger to give them something, to ensure that they get it. The other alternative for this would be to ask them for their email address and then send it in email, right? We've already got their email, but we all know email at best gets about a 40% open rate. I really want people to get this free PDF, and I also want them to be in Messenger. So in that video that you see right there, I actually tell them, hey, here's 2 reasons why you should go to step 2 right now and set a reminder. When you set a reminder, I'm going to give you a 26-page PDF that breaks out all the entry points. And then it's exactly the same thing. I link them into Messenger via an m.me link, which I use here in Chatmatic. You can create them very quickly. I just go to campaigns, add new campaign. I hit m.me link, and then you hit next. And obviously you can now choose, and I want to show you guys, you can choose what message is going to be sent, or I could send them a brand new message. So I'm going to go ahead and call this super cool demo m.me for webinar, right? Now I'm going to create a new message and just show you guys how quickly this is done. So the first thing I want to do is a little text. Now, again, this is going to go to everybody who just opted in for my webinar. So I'm going to say, congrats, F name, right? That brings in their first name. You're all set for the webinar. And what I want to do right now is I want to indoctrinate them. So I want to tell them what is going to happen in Messenger. So I'm going to say, I'll message you when the webinar is live. Make sure you attend from a desktop. Best experience. Okay. Now I'm going to put a little delay in here of about 2 seconds, and I'm going to have it show typing so that the user can see that I'm typing. And I'm going to go ahead and do another text box here that just says, now it's time for your free gift. Right? Now, what I could also do is put this card right here. And let me just go ahead and get an image. Let's see. Cool. All right. So I'm just going to use this random image here. And I'm going to say, download the 26-page PDF. And in the description, it's going to say, join our group and check the files section for the PDF. Now, what I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to be building my Facebook group up as well. So I'm using Messenger to have them set reminders. If they're seeing this message, they're already subscribed, so I can already get them a reminder before the webinar. So that's a majority of the thing that I wanted, right? I wanted that two-way conversation, and at this point, we have it, which is really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and have this link them to my actual webinar. So facebook.com/groups, or not the webinar, to my group. Groups, Messenger bot secrets. Okay. And now I could do anything else at this point if I wanted to. But I'm pretty much good at that point. I'm going to put a little text here that says, go join our group. And go join our group and check the files section for your free PDF, right? Now done. Oh, I got to give it a flow name. So I'm going to call it super cool webinar demo flow. Now, again, I'm using this to build relationships. So I could get more relationship like in that message. But now we're done. So all I got to do is copy this link right here, and I post that on my thank you page. And now anybody who clicks on it and then subscribes in Messenger is now eligible for the reminder before the webinar, which is always key, but then also eligible for our next ad. So again, I'm building up as much as I can. I'm trying to get as many people into Messenger as possible, because the more people I get into Messenger, the better. Now, during my webinar, I'm also selling Messenger services, right? I'm selling a Messenger bot. I'm selling Chatmatic in my system here. And so I give everybody a chance to look at an m.me link live on the call, right? And so the really cool key about that is I'm also getting more people in Messenger that way. So now all I've got to do is literally just freaking start my actual ad process. And that's the really cool part is, again, ahead of the webinar, during the webinar, on the webinar, I always push people to go download this 26-page PDF because that gets them into Messenger. And aside from that, now we go into the webinar. We're done. And let's say, you have a webinar, 200 people show up, and like 80 of them go to your order page. And you could be doing this without webinars as well, but this is more so geared towards high-end, high ticket, right? So now they go to the order page, they're looking at the order page, but they don't buy. Facebook allows you to do something called a sponsored message ad. Now, what that's going to do is it's going to send a message to everybody who qualifies. So that's step number one. They've got to qualify and has an open Messenger conversation. Now, what I do is I make my qualification point the audience point, right? So what I'm trying to show you here is, take a look at these ads. You can see this is a sponsored message, abandoned cart. So when somebody watched this particular webinar and then went to the order page but didn't buy, I could send them a sponsored message. So I just run it on a lifetime budget. So let's say I do a webinar on a Wednesday. I would have my ads running on Thursday for the abandoned cart through Messenger. So the way that you set this up is very, very simple. And I just want to show you guys a really quick walkthrough of this. You go to create. You go down here. I got to zoom out for a second because Facebook's page is all screwed up. You hit messages. Now, this is where a lot of people get messed up. And I'm going to say sponsored message demo and hit continue. Now, right away, this is a clicks to Messenger ad. So this is very different. A clicks to Messenger ad is an ad that's going to show up in the normal placements. So it's going to show up in Facebook newsfeed. It's going to show up in Instagram newsfeed. It's going to show up in those places. And when somebody clicks it, instead of sending somebody to a landing page, you're going to send them over to Messenger, right? So now your bot can start doing things. That's not the bot that we're talking about here. I want to go into, I click this, sponsored message. Now I select the page that I want to send the message from. And now Facebook's going to go in and be like, okay, you have 8,456 people who have open Messenger conversations with your brand, right? That's my total audience that can receive this ad because it has to go into messages that are already open with my brand, okay? So again, super important to get a lot of people in ahead of your webinar. Now what I do is I go into my audience and I select a custom audience of, you guessed it, anybody who visited my order page, right? Now, it's going to be a super small audience. So what I can do is one of two things. If you're running an evergreen version of this, you can run a daily budget of about $3. If you're running a lifetime budget, let's say you wanted to close it. I do the webinar on Wednesday. I want to shut the webinar down on Sunday. I'll do a lifetime budget until Sunday night. That actually works really well because it does allow you to place some emphasis on, if you're seeing this message, you might only have 24 hours. But so let's say I chose that, right? I can leave everything else the same. Again, you're going to choose your budgeting. Leave everything else the same. I can even go as high as $90 CPM or $90 per 1,000 impressions. It doesn't matter to me how much I spend here because, number one, I'm limited by my audience. Right? The only people who are even going to potentially see this are people who have open conversations with me and went to our order page, right? So we're going to be able to send them a direct message into that existing conversation. And I want to show you guys, normally at this point, you're going to be creating an ad, but as you can see, you're creating a bot inside of Facebook, right? Now it's a limited bot. It can't do a lot. You can only do text and image or text. But down here, this is important. There's two things that you can choose right here. One is a quick reply. Now, a quick reply is the same thing as if somebody was just typing something into your bot, right? So if you want to, you could walk them through a questionnaire. So let's just say, here's a good example. For our multi-price option, for our essentially our payment plan for our webinars, we have a separate order page. So let's say that's a separate audience, right? 100 people go to our quarterly option or our payment option page, and I want to send them a message. So again, if they have an open messenger conversation with my brand, and I can't stress that enough because people always ask, why isn't it working? It's not going to deploy if you don't have open conversations ahead of time. So you've got to incentivize people to go into Messenger ahead of the webinar and then use these ads to get them to buy afterwards. Number one thing I also would suggest for you guys is in your ad set, when you're actually targeting people, always exclude your buyers. You don't want to end up sending a message, hey, your time is running out, to somebody who already bought, when you could, in theory, I would make a new ad that goes to my buyers. It says, congratulations, I just wanted to make sure you got everything that you needed, right? That's pretty much the big key. At this point, the quick reply would just engage a further bot. So with our payment options, we would do something like, a message. This message here would say something like, hey, we just wanted to find out, did you get the payment option that you need? If you want to see our payment options, click below. I could have this say payment options, and then I could have a bot looking for the phrase payment options, right? So I would go into Chatmatic. I would go to engagement, add a new engagement, and do a keyword message. So I'm going to do payment options, right? And so I'm going to choose exact match because I want this to be something that only triggers when somebody types exactly the phrase payment options, right? So now when I make my bot, this would say payment options, because there's very low likelihood that anybody's going to randomly go into my messenger and just type payment options. So I'm pretty sure this is only going to get fired when somebody comes through this particular message. And either way, if somebody randomly did type exactly the phrase payment options, then they probably want this anyways, right? So now we're pretty much all set. That's going to anytime somebody clicks on that, we would be able to send whatever message we make right here, right? And that's what's freaking awesome, is we can actually send them through all the different payment options. And we've been doing this as well with a lot of success. So instead of sending somebody just straight to our order page when they want multiple pricing options, we send them into Messenger and we give them the payment options, because we can actually ask them. For instance, Chatmatic sells an unlimited account of licenses, so you can get unlimited licenses. Not everybody wants unlimited. Some people just want one. And so the first question we ask them is, how many licenses do you think you would need? You need unlimited, 10 or less, just one. Somebody clicks just one, we offer them, okay, get started right now for $97 a month. And a lot of people take that, but that's not something that you can put on the webinar. But the nice thing is, again, Messenger's allowing this user to customize the payment option for themselves, which is really great. So we go $4.99 a quarter, $149 a month, $97 a month, and a free trial for 14 days, rebilling at $97 a month. We go all the way down to there. And it's just, again, asking them questions. Do you already have a business? Do you right? And they can choose the option that they want. So this is a really great alternative to just sending somebody over to your order page and offering them multiple price points, or some sort of broken down price point. Like, hey, here's, $2.99 a month or whatever for 3 months. Send them into Messenger, ask them a couple of questions, and then give them a specialized or customized pricing option that kind of meets their needs, what they might want. And so that's great, especially for software as a service. But now if I sent that message, if I hit confirm, it's going to go to everybody who visited my order page, who has an open Messenger conversation, and it's going to say, hey, whatever, hit payment options below. When they hit that, my bot's going to engage, and then I can show them the payment options. The other alternative, and I like this one more because it generates revenue a lot quicker, is using just a button. And you can see a button would say, like, grab your account now, right? Grab your account. And then you can actually have that open a website right away. Now, this is obviously going to be a lot higher ROI for you. I won't say it's a lot higher ROI. It'll get a lot more people to your order page, right? Because I think you can actually increase ROI by asking people questions about what they're looking for, right? So if you actually ran them through a bot that asked them a couple of qualifying questions and then we're like, you're perfect for this, you should go with this plan, that's going to be really, really cool. However, if you just wanted to do what we're doing in most of our ads, you would send them right over to the website. You can add up to 3 different buttons. So I actually used 2 buttons a couple times. One sent people back to an order review page, and the other one, or an order review video, and then the other one sent them right back to where they could purchase. So it's like, hey, if you're not sure what you're going to get, go here, right? And that sends them to an order review where they had a button where they could go purchase. The other one was like, I want this right now, go purchase. And that actually worked really well as well. So super, super powerful option here. So essentially what it allows us to do is you can micro target all the way through your entire funnel. So let's say you run a coaching business and you want to get more people to fill out your application. Well, assuming that you have Facebook pixels installed the right way, if somebody visits your order application page but doesn't actually fill out the application process, you could have a custom message like this going out to everybody. And the nice thing is, if you're doing this evergreen, again, you run it at about $2 a day. Facebook won't spend all $2. They'll only spend every time the message gets sent. So if you have 4 people who hit your booked call page, but they don't end up booking the call, so that's technically like an abandoned cart, right? It's an abandoned sign up or schedule. This message could end up basically going out to them being like, hey, we saw that you visited our page, but you didn't set up your schedule. Make sure you go back right now and choose your date. You'll get new signups and you'll get new coaching calls set up because you're going to take these people who probably want to sign up but just forgot or got busy or lost track. So these things are incredibly powerful. What I would urge everybody watching this to do is I would urge you, do not send broadcasts. You notice nothing in here was about sending a broadcast. If you're promoting a webinar and you have to use a broadcast to get them to come join the webinar, that's totally okay. But don't use broadcasts as your way to get people to spend money with you. Do it through Facebook for 2 reasons. Number 1, Facebook wants you to do that. And number 2, your ad spend won't be very high and you're doing it the right way. So again, if we look at ROAS here, you'll see, this abandoned cart message was 44 cents. This one was 4.11. This was 6.92. $89 got us 43,000. And here's how that one worked out. So now you're building up this massive list of people in Messenger, right? Now, over time, your abandoned cart message stops going to them. Once they get it once, they shouldn't get it ever again. So now they're not getting that message anymore, but a month goes by and you want to run a new special. That's what I do. So on Black Friday, I actually ran this particular campaign that you guys are seeing in darker blue here, and I promoted it to everybody in my Messenger list, and it got 538 clicks over to my website. I got 101 leads, which is 89 cents a lead, which is just phenomenal. And you guys can see here, the lead costs are just ridiculous. This one here was amazing. 133 leads for 33 cents, 37 cents, 25 cents, 12 cents. That one was actually really good. 89 clicks, 60 leads. Lead cost isn't really what we're going for here, though, because they're already a Messenger lead. What I really want is the purchases, which you can see this is pretty good here. This is over 65,000 in purchases for about $250 in ad spend. So what we did was we built up our big Messenger list, and then we did one ad. And I would suggest doing one sponsored message a month, maybe mixed in with a good amount of content. Do not only do sponsored messages, right? Remember, you have to build the relationship in Messenger for people to still value it. So you do want to send broadcasts for straight content. So for instance, one of the things that I did was whenever I do a case study or I do a training video, I'll email my marketing, or I'll send a message to everybody in my Messenger list, and I'll say, hey, go check out this cool new training that I got for you. That sets the right expectation so that then the only time I'm ever marketing is when it's done through an ad, like one of these ones that you see here on this page. That way I can maximize this. What's really great is if you're running this as an agency, you can do this for other people and make a killing. Imagine if you just charged 15% of all the revenue that you made for somebody, and you also told them, and this is what I would do, I will pick up the ad cost, you just give me 15%. Now you're only spending $250. You made them, call it 60. If you're making 15%, what's that? That's about $9,000 or so, something like that. So it's obviously a great turn of investment. They're making a lot of money because they're having to pay essentially nothing for it, and it's free money. And all you've got to do is basically help them retarget their own abandoned carts. So it's a great service. And if you're doing this for yourself, obviously, I would suggest go in, get an account with Chatmatic now, activate your license or activate your page, just connect it, and go in and start making your m.me link and use that as your method to get people into Messenger. Deliver as much content as you can through Messenger. Don't send more than maybe 1-2 broadcasts a week max. Whenever I go live on Facebook, I'll broadcast my whole list, or whenever I have like a good free training for people, I'll try to broadcast that as well. You really want to build that relationship. And so with this combination, it'll allow you to, and one thing I want to show you guys here, it'll allow you to really, really get some hyper-targeted audiences that perform really well. So you can see here, most of these audiences are less than 400. So we've got an audience here of 29. So again, that's 29 people who went to my order page, who had an existing Messenger conversation with us, but they didn't buy. And I target those people directly through the audience system. This one here, 245 people. This one, 254. This one was 5,000. So again, that ad ran to essentially everybody in my system, everybody who had an open Messenger conversation with me at the time. 349, 2179, 513, 35. So again, this is a freaking insanely great way to target these micro-targeted audiences. So now I'm not hitting everybody up in my with these messages, right? 254 people. That's not the same as me hitting all 8,500 people that have an open conversation with me. I'm not having to bombard them. I'm hyper targeting this along the way. So if you're doing an evergreen funnel, you run this on a daily budget, $2-4 max. If you're doing this on a like weekly webinar type of funnel, do a lifetime budget and let that thing run its course. But the nice thing is, again, you get a really nice like timeliness to it. So on Sunday, it shuts down. So you can literally tell people in the message, the account is about to expire. You need to go get it right now. And so we're utilizing message to deliver that timely asset, which is what Messenger really calls for. So again, the real two stages to this, just really quickly, are make sure you're utilizing Chatmatic to get people into Messenger. Create a lead magnet, create some sort of giveaway, freebie, cool thing that you can offer people along the path to your sales purchase, right? So whether it's a comment trigger on your ads, which again, you can set up in Chatmatic in 10 seconds, or if it's a thank you page, hey, go click this to get your free PDF or your free book or whatever it might be, deliver that through Messenger if you can. It's a free thing, so you might as well get them to subscribe to your Messenger service. Now you've got their email, now you've got them in Messenger, and it's a huge win-win because now we can actually retarget them via Facebook ads in this new sponsored message type platform. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Do me a favor, let me know, give me a comment, let me know what your guys' thoughts are on this. Make sure you guys go and try Chatmatic. The link below will literally take you to the page where you can just log right in. There's no credit card required to start using Chatmatic. So go log in, start utilizing it, connect as many pages as you want. It's not going to cost you anything until each page reaches 250 subscribers. So if you have 10 pages and one of them reaches 250 subscribers, you'll have to license that one page, but all 9 other pages will still work. So I urge you guys, go give it a shot. Go try this out. If you're running an agency and you're not doing this, this is a huge way to add some more revenue, and you don't have to charge for it up front. So you can actually charge a percentage. I love running these kind of ads on equity relationships because that ends up making me more money. If I tried to charge somebody $1,000 a month out the gate, they'd be like, well, I'm not sure. Then at the end, if they make $100,000 a month, now I'm actually making 15,000, and they might have thought 1,000 was high. So again, something to keep in mind. Go after those big dogs, help them retarget to their people that hit them up in Messenger. And aside from that, guys, hopefully you enjoyed. Again, leave me a comment, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you soon.